All right, there we go. All right, yeah, there we go. We're live. Hey everybody, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina, and I hope you all are finding the stream okay. Better late than never. It was like 30 seconds late, maybe a minute late at most. Let's just go with that. Hope everyone's doing okay. Looks like we got 4 people clocked in already. Maybe you could let me know if you are hearing this, and we'll get going. Just go ahead and type in welcome. There we go. Says I'm here. 2 likes already. That's good to know. Tonight, of course, the President Andy CB Radio giveaway. We'll do that at 6:30. My wife was kind enough to pick 5 random people, or 4 random people, I think it was, out of the hundreds and hundreds of comments that the video got. I have those names in this mug right here, and at 6:30 I'll pull one out of the mug and we'll announce our winner here. So hopefully, good luck to all of you. Intimidator, good to see you. Sounds good, thank you. Red Hillbilly's Garage, howdy there from East Tennessee. Hey man, not too far from where I'm at. So how is everyone doing? Chance doing okay? Thumbs up to you too, my friend. So how's everyone doing tonight? It's been an interesting month, hasn't it? Last month, talking about the farm, talking about life, talking about all kinds of cool stuff. This month, a little different. A lot of bad news. 2020 is off to a rocky start, I would say. You know, that's the way life works sometimes. Mike A., I hear you, man. Dennis Kress, good afternoon to you as well. Mr. Waggers, hey, y'all. So, the farm's been going well. We, of course, it's snowing like crazy, or was today. It stopped around noon, and now the sun's out there. 9mm AR man saying it started at 6:30. Glad I checked. Yeah, I started at 6. We'll have the drawing at 6:30. So, just to kill a little bit of time, we'll do a little talking before we do it. I know that we'll probably get busy here right at 6:30, and I want to make sure that there was enough time for everything to work, man. Shane A. 420694220. Interesting name, my friend. Howdy to the farm. Good evening. Good to you, my friend. So how is everybody doing? Quadrajet, right on, brother. Vince from New York. Another cheeseburger. No more cheeseburgers, although I do have one more Fast Bites video that I filmed. I filmed 2 back-to-back, and the second one is actually better than the cheeseburger, but I'll leave it for another weekend. We'll show another poor man's cookbook, or poor man's mistake, I should say. So, yeah. So here on the farm, changes all over the place. Got equipment changes, got electrical changes. We've got a lot going on. This is going to be an interesting spring here at Farpoint, and although the weather hasn't been all that great, that has led to a lot of planning. Let's put it that way. So we've been busy on the farm, packing stuff away, moving stuff around. Did that winter build. We saw that lean-to I put up not too long ago. And so moved some stuff around there. Now we're going to be putting an extension on the lower barn, the animal barn. We're going to do that here in a little while. Might even put a small extension on the house. Not actually like enclosing a porch pretty much is what we're thinking about doing, so we get a little more storage space out of here. It's a relatively small house that we're at here. Plenty big for the 2 of us, but be nice to have a little bit more storage room, and we'll get into that too. Let's see. Wagger saying good. Michael Root says gave up cheese and feel great. Really? So like lactose issue, you think? I still eat cheese and ice cream, but although I'm not supposed to, but don't drink milk anymore. Milk does destroy me. Shane saying howdy from Warburg, Tennessee. Right on, man. Not that far down the road. Andrew Wilson doing well in Stafford, Virginia. Got the base unit on 38, a lower sideband. Good for you, my friend. Quadrajet, hello there from Virginia. Love your picture of old Bill looking a little bit upset. 9mm AR man, update on that 1994 K1500. Been driving since new. Never did a major repair until now. Lost 3rd and 4th gear clutches in the transmission. I'd say 250,000 miles is not a bad lifespan for the transmission on any vehicle, let alone a full-size truck like that. Waggers from Texas. Intimidator, love your CV stuff. Want to make me get back into it? Never too late to get back into it, my friend. Just check eBay. Well, if you don't win tonight, check eBay, and they can get yourself a good deal on a used rig. I can't pronounce your name, but I'll just say Ziga. Hello, what happened to some frequencies on 2-meter that were stated to be taken away for aircraft comms? So my understanding on that is that the idea has been shelved for now. So for right now, anyway, at least in the United States, 2-meter is safe. So that's the update I have for that. Mike A, keep the CB videos coming. Got me interested again. No problem, man. Frank Sando, hey, like your CB talks, great man. Yeah, Rock and Rod 1. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Is holy cow, it's been a month already. It's amazing, just doing these once a month, and yet it feels like we just did one, a week or two ago at most. Kind of wild, I would say. So CB related stuff, yeah, we're going to be doing some more videos on that. I've got part 3 and part 4 of the President McKinley. That was the range test. I did an AM range test. I did a sideband range test. The reason it's taken so long for me to do that is changing the camera. I bought a more fancy camera. It doesn't like recording the static. It messes with the camera. So I had to go back. I actually found that my wife's cell phone took a better audio quality than the very fancy 4K camera that I had. So did that. Finally got those 2 done, and then I recorded both back to back. But one day was, clear weather. I recorded these both at night or before the sun came up. But one was clear weather. The next one, the sideband test, was pouring rain. And I was not exactly, I was surprised. The range, while better than in AM, was not what I expected it to be. So I went ahead and redid it again and did another one on a similarly, like the weather conditions were about the same and the results were different. So that's why it's taken me so long. But I'll probably have those up in the next week or two, at least part 3 with the AM range test. Great radio, love that McKinley, man. That thing's awesome. Talking to Skip on sideband with it, and really just had a lot of fun having that in the car. So, Gearhead Ted, hello from Washington State. Be careful out there. Frank Sonato, cool. Rally Point, South Carolina, here again, awesome. William Hewlett, Mosquito Lagoon, Space Coast, Florida. Right on, brother. Love the McKinley. Bought it because of your reviews. Good deal, AR, man. That's a great radio, man. It really is. Rustic Design saying hello from Michigan. Hello, sir. I have family that came from Michigan initially. Semi-professional hillbilly, are you picking up any skip in Carolina? It's been pretty much dead air around here. So Friday, I was off on Friday. I was working in the garage, and there was some skip. In fact, I made a couple of contacts, Arkansas and mostly southern contacts yesterday. So yeah, some skip, not like crazy. It was perfect type of skip where it was fairly quiet. You get a couple of strong stations in there, have some conversations, and then move on. Mostly 38 lower sideband on those. Quadrojet King Ralph Northam is trying to take our rights in Old Virginia down with tyrants. I agree, my friend. I am keeping a close eye on that. I almost came up for that rally that you guys had, Second Amendment rally that you had up there. Couldn't get away. It was a pretty good drive for me, 6 hours. I couldn't get anyone to go with me, and so didn't end up going. But man, my heart goes out to you guys. Red Hillbilly's Garage. Can't wait for those McKinley videos. Been looking forward to getting one for my T680 work truck. You'll like it. Yeah, McKinley is a really good radio. I mean, just really good. Well built, powerful, good listener. Not bad. Rustic Design Cobra 18 with a 250-foot foot warmer. What would be a good upgrade? Anything with sideband, my friend. Anything with sideband, I would have to say. It's a great radio you got going there. Works, I'm sure, very well for the situations you're using it in. But yeah, no doubt. Mike A, do you work on your own radios, peak and tune stuff still? I do work on my own radios. I don't do any peak and tune. I don't have any way of realigning a radio here at the house. I don't have that kind of equipment or that kind of knowledge. But what I do is repair them. So a lot of the radios that I pick up at flea markets or in bulk packages off Craigslist or whatnot, they have issues. Sometimes it's as simple as bulbs and cleaning contacts. Other times it's more in depth. But most of the time I can fix a radio if I have the time to fix the radio. Sometimes not so much though. One of the ones I had a Cobra 142 bass that I got a while back, and no matter what I did to it, it was just always weird. So I ended up just reselling that one on eBay as a parts radio. So let's see here. Chance Skip has been dead here in Arizona. Yeah, it's just been kind of quiet. Actually, it's not. We've had some activity here, just not a ton, So Virginia Ridge Runner, we need to join West Virginia. Yeah, I don't know. Like I agree. There's like issues with that. Sometimes I just wonder. You know how like refugees work, man? Things get so bad in their own country, they pull out and they try to find someplace better to live. At what point do we stop falling back? Is the question I have to ask. Because I hear that a lot. Oregon talking about separating into two states, which I think is a great idea. California, same thing, talking about separating into 2 states. And I think those are good ideas. Don't get me wrong. I think they should. I think if the state's large enough and it has a large enough population that differs with the main cities, which is common. Look at Illinois. If it wasn't for Chicago, Illinois would be a real red state. So I think that's kind of interesting. But at some certain point, if we start breaking those states into so many smaller states, then I do kind of wonder if maybe it's just time to fix the problems one way or the other, if you know what I mean. So, Dirk saying, thanks for all the help and info getting back into CB. Good, I'm glad to hear that, my friend. Always nice to know that I'm helping people out there in internet land. It's funny, you take a hobby and you kind of just project that hobby onto this YouTube channel, and really that's all my channel is. If y'all noticed, I don't know if this is something people have picked up on over the years, but when I make videos here on YouTube, I'm just filming the stuff I was going to do anyway. You do realize that, right? Like, I was going to play with these radios, or I was going to dig that trench, or I was going to use this implement, or I was going to take the tractor and go do this, or I was going to plant the seeds, or I was going to go take care of the chickens. I mean, these are literally the whole channel, and it's great. You know, Far Point Farms. It's where I live. It's I know a lot of y'all come here for the CB radio stuff, and good for you. And some of you come here for the tractor videos, and some for, you know, maybe the homesteader slash prepper slash survivalist slash hippie or whatever it is that you want to qualify me as. But it's interesting that this channel, I refuse to pigeonhole it into one specific segment of the world. You know, there's so many channels that are just ham radio channels, or just this or just that. I prefer to be the farm, because this is what I'm doing on the farm. You know, car repairs and everything else. So. Let's see here. I've gone past a few of you here. Love the President video. You had one. Oh, the hat. Yeah. President Corporation was super nice. Gave me that hat. And I don't wear hats very often, but that was real comfortable, man. I love it. Quadrajet's agreeing with VA Ridge Runner. Michael Root saw a GECB at a local thrift store. Looked nice. Kicked myself for not getting it. Yeah, man, if the price is right, pretty much all CB radios are fun to play with for a little while. A lot of times, if you get them at a good price, you clean them up, you play with them for a little while, and sell them on eBay, man. Pass along to somebody else. Frank saying CB is not like it was back in the 70s. I agree 100,000 million% on that one. It probably never will be again, but that doesn't mean it's not fun to play with at this point. David Speck, good evening, everyone. It's good meeting up with y'all once again, just saying hello. Hello, Dave. Dennis Crease, what's your opinion on the Uniden Bearcat 980 SSB? I have one as my base station. Actually, the RCI that I had gotten from Dallas Rife suffered some kind of electrical failure. It is boxed up and getting ready to go to get repaired. So the 980, which I've had now for about 2.5 years, is my base station. Still my primary base station outside. Is a great radio. I've heard some people complain that they don't hold up well in mobile installations, but I have no comment on that, because you know, mine has done nothing but worked wonderfully. Mike A saying AM SSB is quiet around Arlington, TN, just outside of Memphis. Yeah, supposedly today was not a good day for it. 9mm AR man saying he'd love to leave Massachusetts, but I can't now due to my parents getting older and not willing to move either. I just don't want to run. I'm here to fight the unconstitutional laws. Good for you, AR man. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is like, we could fall back and let states fall to tyranny if it's what you want to define it as. But it seems to me like maybe it's better to stand and fight, stand your ground, you know. If you think something is wrong, be vocal about it, get out, vote, get other people to do the same. William Hewlett, Organic, Beverly, have you ever heard of a Tram Diamond 60 radio with SSB? I have not, but there are a lot of older radios that have come and gone, and, you know, that are jewels. I mean, they're just great radios. They're just stuff that I haven't really seen. Andrew Wilson, will a longer coax lower SWRs, or does it just trick the meter? It just tricks the meter. It will show having separate lengths or different lengths of cabling will trick the meter sometimes into giving you a false impression of overly high or overly low SWR, but won't actually change that. James Mannon, good evening from Clarksville, Tennessee. Thanks for the videos. Just getting back into CB. Good, man. I'm glad to hear that. Jordan B, I ordered a CB radio mug and a Midnight Cafe shirt. Quality shirt, and the mug is my new daily coffee mug. Awesome, my friend. I got a new mug right here. Let's see if I can put it up on the screen there. It's got my ugly mug right on it, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Jerry Davis, good video. Thank you, my friend. Let me go back. Oh, man, I'm missing a bunch of people. I might have to skip over a few until I get caught up. Let's see. I'm just going to read here for a second. William Hughes saying his 980 display went kaput. Yeah, so I'm hearing that from some folks, that the 980 doesn't hold well up in mobile situations. Robert, I love your video on handheld mics. I've got my hands on one of them 40 channel TRC 2016. Good for you, my friend. Let's see. Wow. Are there any mobile SSB radio stations I could use on a mic? So Cherokee made a mobile handheld sideband CB radio. That would be the only one that I can think of. Michael Root, do you communicate on GMRS frequencies? I do, but there's no one to communicate with. But my wife and I here on the farm, I will commonly take mine and take that down, say to the spring box if we're having issues with that, or the well, or if I'm going to be underneath the house or up on the top property, or on the lower property, or all over the place. It has great range, and it doesn't eat up batteries like a little portable CB will. So depending on the situation, sometimes we'll do that, use GMRS or FMRS radios, and it'll work pretty good. I like that. You get to use repeaters like him without as much headache. So I have not tried GMRS repeaters. I'm not even aware that such a thing existed, so that's kind of cool. Wow. A lot of people. Down in the holler. Hello, howdy from Virginia. Man, I remember talking to you last time we were here. So let's see here. Still got about 10 minutes to go before the big giveaway. Travis Tybus made one. It was a 13955 back in the day. Handheld? Okay, cool. So the Antron antenna, the Max 2000, is still working well. The Antron's finally starting to go. It's the SWRs are slowly climbing on it. I suspect it might be water intrusion. I don't know for sure because it rains, pretty much every other day up here in the mountains. So it's hard to say. If, I got a week where there was no rain, I might be able to check it again and see if the SWRs are getting lower there. But I think it's finally time to retire that one. Michael Root, what am I giving away? We're giving away the President Andy tonight, a brand new, almost brand new CB radio. It's one that I had installed in the Toyota Echo for a while. And so I had put up a video about it, got about 1,800 comments on that thing. Holy cow. So one of those people is going to win. So that's what we're giving away tonight. So if you haven't already liked the video, please do. Please like it. I guess, I noticed one thing that was kind of interesting, and I'm not going to use this live feed to shill, but I would say probably 2/3 of the views that I get on my videos are from people that aren't subscribed. I wish they would subscribe. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe to it. I know not all my content will interest you. Certainly, if you're here for radio stuff about tractors and whatnot, probably isn't all that interesting, and vice versa. If you're into garden tractors and Kubotas and stuff like that, then maybe CB radios aren't your thing. But I'd appreciate it. It helps the channel. It helps with revenue. It helps with advertising, that sort of thing. And so, something to think about anyway. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, perhaps you'll think about doing that. And I don't know, I expect y'all to ring that bell. Just watch the videos that you find interesting. Fair enough. Let's see. Kiss Me Florida is here, period. M10. Great on, brother. Hello from Michigan. McKinley showed up a few weeks ago waiting on some warmer weather to install it. You're going to love that radio, brother. Justin Voorhees, have you ever had a rooster that hates boots? Mine attacks boots, but when I pick him up, he's okay. Yes, indeed, I have. That, and used to bring Scratch over in a metal, I think it was like maybe, I can't remember what brand of coffee it was, but a coffee can that was metal, and he would see that particular color metal and he would attack it. Man, it would ring like a bell, ding, when he'd hit that thing. So but yeah, if you put that thing down, he was pretty fine, but he definitely had something against that can. I'm not sure why. Roosters are weird, man. I love them. I got 2 right now, and they don't even fight each other, which is cool. I guess they've already determined dominance as they grew up together, but yeah, they're characters, and they're just making a racket down there sometimes. So, Michael Root says, are you going to do an autograph on the CB you're giving away? If somebody really wants me to do that, I'll let the winner decide. I'm not going to deface a beautiful radio unless they want me to. But I have signed autographs before. It's a very strange feeling, to be honest with you. Jordan B., the only complaint I have about my 980 is the beep every time I change the channel. Yeah, so I got lucky. I guess I got a 2nd generation one, and mine that doesn't do the beep, so that I got lucky on that one. But I have heard a lot of people complain. Nice thing about the McKinley, you can turn that on and off. Same thing with the Andy, you can turn it on and off. So President kind of heard the complaints out of United's products and fixed that in their own one. Down the holler saying the 980 is nice, but the display is too dim. It's great inside the garage, but yeah, again, I guess if there was lights shining right on it, it'd be a problem. Quadrajet saying, do I ever fool around with diesel engines? So I was a diesel mechanic in the Army. I know mechanical diesel engines fairly well. Old stuff. I also drove some Volkswagen diesels back. We're talking late '70, early '80 models, but nothing like the current, monster truck injection engines. Those things are straight up garbage. Every time I have come close to working on them or know anyone that works on them, or just the people that own them, you're prepared to spend a crap ton of money, man. Just obscene amount of money on those things. Sean wants to know when the Midnight Cafe is going to be syndicated. If I told you that the Midnight Cafe was actually on the air in foreign countries pretty much every day, would you believe me? Because it's true. There's a place in Norway that plays the reruns, and sometimes I do small updates for them. Don't ask me why Norway, which doesn't speak English as its primary language, would be so interested in the Midnight Cafe, but there it is. Jen after next tactics. Did it snow up there last weekend? Any snow plowing videos in the future? So it has snowed. It snowed Thursday, it snowed Friday, and it snowed this morning. But we have not had enough for snow plowing videos, man. It's like you'll get a couple inches, but we have had such a weird winter where it's been warm, and then cold, and then warm, and then cold, that nothing ever sticks around long enough to plow it. Which, believe me, buying that Johnny Senior plow, if that's all it took to get a year without having to use the plow, I'm totally okay with that. Dirty Sanchez wants to know if the winter's been announced. You got about 8 minutes, brother. Bama Mud Mower, hello from Talladega, Alabama. How you doing, Bama Mud Mower? So I take it you saw my mud mower video, or my mutt video. I love that thing, man. I did play with that some this week. I actually was out there this morning with it rolling around in the snow. It's really fun in the snow, especially we didn't get a super hard freeze, so the ground underneath the snow is just kind of mucky and muddy, so it's just been kicking it up. Can't imagine what the yard looks like, but hey, that's somebody else's problem. I don't really care if the grass grows pretty on the property. We're just replacing grass with stuff that we can eat anyway. BLR saying good evening to you, my friend. William Hewitt, love the rabbit pickup project you got going. Thank you, man. Yeah, rabbits have always been my thing. I know it's a strange car to lust after. Most people are after the Beetles or the buses, which I also love dearly, but my first car was a Rabbit, so I'm pretty much stuck with that. I've just got it's like your one true love kind of thing. Kenny Harden, KL 9520. Hello, my friend. Hey, how you doing, man? Quadrajet's asking, what do I think about 5G? I don't know. Radio waves definitely do affect human mind. Radio waves can definitely damage human flesh, or any flesh. So I do believe there is definitely some worry that, or some, reasonable amount of worry that can be brought up over this 5G or 6G or any technology. I mean, if you were to live right next to a 50,000 watt AM radio station, you're going to tell me you don't have some kind of a side effect from that much current, that much oscillations going through the air? It just seems reasonable to expect that all these radio waves that we're inundated with all day and all night, all day, all year, probably does affect us in a negative way. It's just hard to say what that way is, you know what I mean? So, let's see. Mark Oil, you should build some tracks for the mutt. Well, that'd be sweet, wouldn't it? I'm just not that smart, but I'm not that good. This is a funny thing. A lot of people immediately think a mechanic is also like an engineer. So I am good at fixing things. I can occasionally create things, but I am not. Well, I won't say that I'm not an inventor, because I've invented a few things over the years, but I'm not a very good inventor. How's that sound? I would love it, though. If I could find somebody who's done it, I can usually emulate that fairly well, though. Michael Root saying S10 picks up, always been your thing. The original S10s, the square body S10s, wonderful little pickup trucks, man. Wonderful little trucks. Vacuum Tube Junkie saying hello. Hello, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Let's see here. Down the holler. Do you like the Andy or Bill if you could pick just one? I am in love with my Bill. I will easily tell you that. It's not that there's anything wrong with the Andy, but the Bill is so compact and it does everything the Andy does, so it's just kind of been my new favorite radio. And as you saw in my video, I took it out of my wife's car and installed it in the new pickup truck. Beverly saying KTA 4727 Hewlett, Texas. Love watching your videos. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on in there. Mike Holler saying 5G might have made the cheeseburger better. I wouldn't disagree with you. Sean saying got a 980 SSB and a Yasu 891 in the truck. The 980's holding up fine. Yeah. So again, I've just heard a few folks that just feel like that it isn't the perfect vehicle radio, but I love mine. 9mm AR, man, I don't know much about health and radio waves, but I worked in a nuclear security for years. No adverse effects except my my pee glows neon blue. I mean, nothing to worry about there, right, bro? It's just a little bit of neon blue pee. It's no big deal. Kenny Harden, where do I get parts for a realistic base station? eBay. eBay is your friend. Radios, you know, a lot of, like, if you want to recap it, there's a lot of guys out there that have like cap kits. In fact, I'm going to be getting one for my President Madison when I finally do the restoration on that. If I ever find the time to do that, I'm going to buy one of those cap kits and just recap the radio. Got a friend who says he's got a friend who can realign it, and that's what I'm hoping for. Daniel Omega, what is the best way to limit RF noise in your vehicle, such as ignition firing or alternator whine? That is a tough one. So most modern vehicles do a fairly good job of isolating those noises, but not all of them. In fact, my 1980 truck has a lot of issues with that. So RF chokes and oh gosh, that RF chokes pretty much. You know, I'm trying to get your power lines away from those items. Don't run one near a fuel pump, something like that. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Jeremy Bolden saying, hey. Down the holler saying he was sort of gagging watching that cheeseburger go down. It was interesting. It was interesting. Quadrajet King, the government has 5G radio waves for weaponry against the people, i.e. crowd dispersement. Yeah, I remember, what frequency is it? They call it like the Brown frequency. You fire that at a crowd and make people literally defecate on themselves. So these things do exist, no doubt about it. Jeremy Bolden, I got a Cobra handheld. Right on, brother. David Speck, I've never been to a ham fest and I'm thinking about attending one or two. Is it too fair to expect to find CB radios or equipment at most of them? You betcha, dude. So, yeah, you know what? We got 70 people in here, give or take. Let me go ahead and say I was going to wait till next month, but just so in case any of you don't join me next month. So I am planning, as of right now, to attend the Raleigh Ham Fest in April. That's a Saturday the 11th. If any of y'all want to get down there and meet up with me, that is in Raleigh, North Carolina. On the 11th of April is a Saturday. I'll be there first thing in the morning. We'll get together, maybe have some lunch together. And it's a beautiful place as long as it's a nice day. There's a nice fairgrounds there with lots of other cool stuff. Lots of CB, lots of ham stuff, lots of cool people. That being said, if you would read Gen After Next Tactics comment about something going on with the China syndrome, then it's also possible that by April 11th those kind of things are shut down temporarily because of you know, not wanting close contact. And we'll talk about that tonight on the Midnight Cafe. If y'all want to stick around and join me after this is over with, I'll be on the Midnight Cafe channel and we'll talk more about that. I'm not going to talk about that on this channel, however, because I kind of like this channel being monetized, so I'll leave it at that. Gen After Next Tactics, if you want to join me, if you want to join me at the Midnight Cafe after this, I'll be happy to talk to you about that stuff. Jeremy, you're the best YouTuber. Well, I'm about to blush. I highly doubt that, but thank you very much for the nice words. I appreciate that. Milo H, hello. 9mm AR. Yeah, the brown note. Yeah, there was a weapon called the brown note. Well, let's see here. Christopher Simpson, have you ever messed with hooking up a CB to a PA speaker? I know some CBs have a PA input, and I'm thinking about putting a PA in my truck, but I don't know if I should just get a separate mic instead. Certainly. So I don't think there is a boy who played with CB radios in high school that didn't at one point or another hook up a speaker and use it as a PA to scream at random people as they drove down the road. It's kind of a part of growing up, I guess, but yes, you certainly can do it, and they put out enough wattage that if you put a bullhorn you know, up underneath your grill or whatnot, you're definitely going to be making plenty of noise. So I would just say you can double up. Why not? Why buy one dedicated system for a PA when you could have a CB radio in there as well? You know what I mean? Dirty Sanchez, should I be concerned about buying products from Amazon? I am. Although very shortly you're not going to be able to get anything from there anyway. So you know, the supply lines are pretty well down. So I would say that anything you're buying currently is stuff that's been sitting in a warehouse for some time. But yeah, if it's coming direct from there and it's still something coming in, it's probably not a good idea. Yeah. So Zeke is saying the winter in the EU is weird. We're having 10 degrees Celsius instead of -10. No snow, but already 2 smaller hailstorms. Wow. I miss the good old days with a lot of snow. I don't miss the good old days with a lot of snow. I'm all for global warming. I think it's a good idea to warm this place up a little bit. Milo H, PA inputs are great fun. Yes, they are. Jeremy Bolden, do you know of any good CB radios for your truck? Yeah, man. Anything from President. I mean, literally anything. That's what McKinley, the McKinley was a great AM and SSB radio, as a 9mm AR man has pointed out. I believe it is 6:32. You guys ready to do this giveaway? So I've got my Farpoint Farms mug, Liberty Sows and Seed at Farpoint Farms, which, by the way, everybody, they banned this mug. Is currently available on the store, but it has been under review for over a month because the mug says Liberty on it. That's the world we're living in, kids. Anyway, my wife was kind enough to pick out, I think it was either 4 or 5 names out of the many comments that y'all left, and she picked out 4 of them before she had to go to work. She put them in this here cup, and now, with my eyes closed, I'm going to put this up so y'all can see. I'm not cheating here, right? I'm not cheating. And here we are. Let's see who we got here. Thomson. Tom Thomson. Let's get it up. I don't know if you can read it. It's in pencil. But Tom Thomson, you're the winner of the President Andy Radio. I don't think you're on here tonight. I will shoot you an email. You want to see who came close? Let's go and see who came close. Jesse Ponce came real close. Steve Pump came real close. And Ramblin' Man. Ramblin' Man, I know him. Ramblin' Man came close. To all the rest of you, thank you so much for being part of the Farpoint family. And Tom, I'll shoot you a message, or somebody maybe can shoot Tom a message and let him know that he's won. And the President Andy is his. I'm going to pay to have it shipped to your house. I've got it boxed up. It's in this original box. Got the manual, got all the cords, everything. So you're going to get a pretty new radio. It's got a couple hours of use on it, but I had it for a couple of years. Well, I guess it's been just over a year, and it got used until last summer when I pulled the radio out before I got rid of the Echo. So Michael Root didn't come close. Sorry, man. So all you guys that were into it, there was one kid or guy. I actually banned him because he pissed me off so much. That posted like over 100 messages last night trying to win. And although I didn't specifically say just please put one message down, I thought that would be kind of something that maybe maybe people would just realize was the nice thing to do. So anyway, he didn't win. Even if he had one, he wouldn't have won, because that's kind of cheating, you know what I mean? But good job, Tom. I'll get in touch with you. If somebody else wants to find Tom Thompson's eBay or Facebook, YouTube page and shoot him a message, I'm sure he'll be happy to know. Gen After Next Tactics saying he wants a recount. The voting system is rigged. It probably is, you know. I tell you what, last time I did a giveaway, there was a guy. Did we lose the signal? There we go. I guess we're back. I don't know. There we go. I'm back. So last time that we did a radio giveaway, there was a guy who, when I gave the radio away, contacted me and said, he said, this is a scam somehow. This is a scam. And I was like, okay, explain to me the scam, please, because I'm not making any money. You didn't have to sign up. It wasn't like the raffle tickets were $1 or something. It was literally free. It wasn't like you were required to be a subscriber, so it wasn't like I was scamming people so I could get them to subscribe to my channel. It was literally nothing. It was nothing, and yet this guy was like, somehow, this is a scam, because how do we know that you actually sent the radio? I mean, it was crazy, man. And of course, you know, there's always kind of those people in the world. In fact, I've been dealing with 1 or 2 of them right here on the channel not too long ago, but I took care of those problems both today. I took care of 2 people today. So there we go. Yeah, everyone's saying I'm back on. That's good. Nice to engage you the way you do. Thanks, man. I do try to, you know, to me, you guys are like a family. I try to treat the channel like your family. I mean, honestly, I'm a very private person in the real world, so the fact that I let you all into my life and get to see some of my house and some of my farm and some of my garage is a pretty big deal to me. So I feel like I am letting you into my life here. So M10 saying thanks for the opportunity. It was fun. Yeah, I'm sorry to all the people that didn't win. Jerry Davis saying good luck to the winner. Rudy Morocco, thank you too. Marky Shaw, 5x9, There you go. How you doing, Marky? It's good to see you. And we're going to be doing some Midnight Cafe stuff, talking about current events here in just a little while. I'll probably click off here about, I don't know, right before 7 and click back on the Midnight Cafe right at 7 or 7:10 or so. Just probably get a drink or whatnot. Quadrajet saying, get her done. Property MLA, can I have a Spam sandwich? Yes, sir. I love my Spam sandwich, although I'm not allowed to eat them anymore, apparently. Salt. I'm not supposed to have salt, thanks to all. Mower Junkie, how you doing, man? Good to see you in here. Just missed the drawing. Tom Thomson won it. Ooh, you know what? I better make sure. Hang on, I think I just put that guy's name in back with the rest of everybody. My luck, my memory, I'll forget who won. Tom Thomson was the winner, everybody. Tom Thomson. Let's see. Michael Root says, what do you and the wife do for fun when you're not farming? We sleep, man. It's great. It's awesome. Sean just gave $5 to the channel. Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate that. We never go out looking for money. I appreciate it whenever somebody does donate to the channel, and that's awesome. Thank you very much, Sean. Apparently you enjoy the videos enough to think it's worth $5. I appreciate that. Let's see, 9mm Airman, you could always ask the President to give us 1,800 CB so everyone can win. I think perhaps they might have me committed to an institute if I attempted to ask that question. But I will say they have been very good to me over these last 2 years. I've had many pleasant conversations with them. I've had a few requests. I have begged them repeatedly for 2 things, and I will share those with you right now, because I've heard them from you, actually. I have asked them to make a President Bill-sized radio that has sideband, and he told me it was fairly impossible, but I still told them they should do that. And I told them they need to make a modern McKinley-based base station, because there are just not enough, other than Galaxy, who has a CB base station, right? So that are the 2 things, and they didn't comment on that, so maybe that's a possibility. We'll see. Hopefully it is. Down the holler, have a good night. Take care, my friend. Be good. William Hewitt wants to know, how can I find the Midnight Cafe? So I have a sister channel. I believe if you type in YouTube, the Midnight Cafe, it should show up, and I'll be there doing a live show there. Again, I don't tell people really I don't want people to, it's not that I don't want people to subscribe to this channel, but I do want you to subscribe to this channel and like it and all that. But the Midnight Cafe used to be a weekly show, then it was a monthly show. Now it's just whenever I have the opportunity to do it. So if you are actually interested in catching shows, you probably ought to subscribe and hit the bell. You won't get a lot of notifications on it, because it'll only notify you on those rare occasions when I broadcast. In fact, the last time I broadcasted a show on it, I think, was in October, so long time. Sean saying, towards the next radio. Right on, my friend. Thank you very much. Shane, thanks for the channel. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Christopher Simpson say, you wouldn't happen to have any good stories with truckers talking to you passing through, would you? I don't that I can think of off the top of my head. I know driving across country on many occasions when I was younger, some of the conversations I had with people, good people, man. There's a lot of good people in this world. There's far many more good folks than there are bad folks in this world, and I think that's something you can take away from any conversation on any of the bands, whether it be CB or Ham. Property and Malanga, the best from southern Spain. Love your vids in general. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Hartley Homestead in Michigan. Hello, everyone. Hey, Hartley, how you doing, my friend? Quadrajet, when is the President Trump CB going to be made? I haven't heard anything from them out of that, but I bet you it's probably on their list. Orange Man Good, love your videos. Great name, dude. John Frisching Jr., McKinley Base, yes. And you know what I mean? Like, it was a way for them. They've got the radio chassis. They've got a great radio. They just take that thing, put it in a beautiful box with a good quality speaker and a power supply, and sell that thing as a base, and people would just eat that up, myself included. I told them I'd be first on the pre-order list, so hopefully they'll do that. Mark Aller saying, in a handheld. I'll mention that to him next time we talk, actually. Michael Root, where are President CBs made? I believe they're made in China, but I actually don't know. The company's based in France, I believe. And, of course, they have offices here in the United States. Spinning in the bubble. Love from the UK. Keep the videos up. Long live 27 megahertz, 11 meter band. Good to see you all the way from overseas, my friend. Donnie Dart, 727. Steam? I'm not sure what that one means, my friend. Michael Root, I live by a truck stop, and I can tell you truckers are nice, but some are sleazy. Yes, yes, lot lizards, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it does exist, but you know what? Lonely people do strange things. There's no doubt about it. Donnie Darko's wanting to know how the Kubota's doing. Love it. Got about 150 hours on it since I bought it. Did the 400-hour tune-up on it. Really should have, not tune-up, I guess, but you know, service, major service. I should have filmed that one, but I didn't. There were other videos on it I thought covered it fairly well. But did a hydraulic fluid exchange, cleaned the filters, changed the oil, cleaned the filter, changed the air filter, recharged the battery, and did the front diff as well. No, other than routine maintenance, no damage, no issues, nothing. Love it. So, Orange Man Good, do you think GSM radios are a good investment? I think it's good to have different modes of communication. In fact, one of my upcoming videos finally covers something that I haven't done in years, which is talk about alternative forms of communication. In this case, BBS systems, bulletin board systems that date back long before the internet. I still run one. I still have one. In fact, it's up right now. The midnightcafe.ddns is the link to that. If anyone knows how to use Telnet, you can go on there and check it out. Jordan B, base station with that classic wood grain. I'm down with that. I'll take any base station from them, but if they want to make a wood grain with big dials, well, yeah, I could go for that too. Jordan White, I just got a Road King radio with the blue lights, and it came with a Repop Telex tuner mic. Huh, not a bad radio, but it can't beat my Galaxy Pluto. Cool. Juan Diaz wants me to adopt him. Really? I don't know, man. You know, you want to work a farm, because that I told my wife, we kid around about it all the time. Maybe we'll adopt a 16 or 17-year-old where they got a strong back. You know, somebody can help us up here on the farm. We'll skip over the diapers and the crying and all that misery, and we'll just move right into help me out with all the projects around the farm. That's what I'm looking for. Michael Root saying, do you listen to MERS frequencies? Yeah, so I have an SDR radio, not radio, but like adapter for the computer, and I'm building this office radio station, and unfortunately because the RCI kind of blew up on me, I put a serious crimp in that idea, but I'm adding another base station antenna and scanner antenna and TV antenna right off the side here, and so I'm going to be building like this all-in-one shortwave / ham / CB / scanner setup here that's going to pretty much cover all the spectrum. And I do love listening to just about all radio. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens on radio, especially late at night. Mike A, do you ever travel to Huntsville Hamfest? I have not been to Huntsville, but I'm not opposed to going. Sounds like a good thing. I love it. Orange Man Good, do you have any pigs yet? No pigs. None. Nope. Still thinking about it. I bought 5 or 6 16-foot cattle panels, and I was going to build a very stout, pig pen or pig, area. But just ran out of time last summer, and of course you can get pigs cheap in the winter if you want to feed them all winter. But yeah, that's as far as I got with it last year. Jordan White, also great radios, the 148 GTLs. It still has it and it works. Yeah, those are classic, great radios, some of the top of the line. David Speck, what would you expect to pay for a working D104 desk mic from the 80s? So it's funny. I've had a few of those. There was a time you couldn't touch one for less than $75, and then there was a time when I came across a bunch of them for like $15-20 a pop. Picked them up, used them for a while, and then resold them. And now I wish I'd kept. I want one that's amplified. Every one that I've ever come across is just a plain one. I want one that is amplified, and I think I'd probably keep it forever if I did that. So, Christopher Simpson, ever thought about messing around with one of those old SCR 300 military backpack radios? Wow. That'd be awesome. Or a radio truck. I have seen one of those radio trucks where you sit in the air-conditioned booth and just listen to the comms all day. Beautiful. Michael Root grew up on a hog farm. It sucked. Yeah, they don't smell too good either, do they? So let's see here. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes. I'm going to cut it we'll do about an hour here on this channel, and then if y'all want to go grab something to drink and Google the Midnight Cafe here on YouTube, you can join me there for some more conspiratorial news. Yeah, we're going to talk about the alternative stuff that occurs in our world. That's what the Midnight Cafe really is. UFOs, aliens, conspiracy theories, government conspiracies, black ops, all the cool stuff that that you're really not allowed to talk about and stay monetized anymore. So that's why we have the other channel there. And of course, the Midnight Cafe predates YouTube by about 21 years. So that's just a little interesting info on the side there if you want to join me over. They can be a handful. Orange Man saying they can be a handful. I had a big board, 600 pounds. Wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. So I don't want to get into a fight with a. There's a fellow YouTuber out there. I can't remember the guy's name, but he damn near lost his life. He certainly almost lost his leg. Got attacked by one of his pigs there, and ripped him open, man. He had arterial bleeding. He was a wreck, man. So that was a mess. Donnie Darko, Sasquatch. Yeah, I've seen him. My co-workers like to laugh about that, but I have a story that I've shared. As a matter of fact, I think it's a video on this channel way back in the day. William Hewitt, Art Bell, yes, one of my idols. Art Bell was a great guy, and the beauty of that is that he's just, you know, willing to talk anything, man. Politics all the way through to Sasquatch. I love a guy that's willing to open his ears and his eyes to all the possibilities, and that dude definitely did. How many acres is my farm? I have what you would probably consider to be a farmette. I only have about 6.5 acres here, but I'll tell you what. One guy operating 6.5 acres, and I don't focus on, you know, just chickens or just pigs or just whatever. I am trying to be a homesteader. I'm trying to be self-sufficient. So we grow our own vegetables. We have fruit trees. We have blueberry bushes, strawberry patches, blackberries, and apple trees, pear trees, cherry trees, plum trees. Although I've never gotten a plum off of it. A couple of peach trees that do pretty well up here, which is shocking. And then, of course, animals, chickens, rabbits, mainly, and turkeys, and sometimes goats and pigs. And then, of course, there's hunting. So, I mean, I'm pretty busy up here. You think 6.5 acres is, you know, some people have 80 or 90 acre farms or many thousands of acre farms, and good for them for sure. But for one family, this is about all I can handle. In fact, there's a lot of improvements that still need to be made on this place. The way I figure it is about the time that I'm no longer able to do any of this stuff is about the time I'll have it perfect. So let's see here. Mike A, do live shows on CBs more often? Well, I do them once a month. That's about all I can afford the time to do, but I'm glad you enjoy it. I certainly will be here again last weekend in March to do another one. I won't be doing any more giveaways this year probably, but you never know. I might come across like a huge pile of radios and just feel like it's possible to do that. So property, just picked over here a good Galaxy DX95, brand new, sealed in the box. Wow. I've never had a Galaxy radio, period, but I have never heard a bad thing about any of them. Galaxy's a pretty premium brand in the industry. Orange Man, good. Have you been making any preparations for the outbreak? Yeah, so if you want to join me, Orange Man, on the Midnight Cafe channel here at about 7:15, when I switch over to that, we will definitely be talking about that. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I do that for monetization reasons. So. John Fleisching, wow, it looks pretty big in the videos. I just bought a house in December that's 6.8, but mostly wooded, so it doesn't look as sprawling as yours. Yeah, in fact, there are some times that I have wondered, I wish that there were more trees on the property, but the field area is so much to maintain because that's where all the fruit trees are. If I let it go back to, you know, full nature, those fruit trees would soon be overwhelmed by larger trees. So we have to have the fields, and then the lower areas where we keep all the animals. And we have one smaller garden plot, although last year I didn't do anything with that garden plot. So that's where we're at. Jonathan White wants to know who won the radio. It was Tom Thomson. Tom Thomson won the radio. Quadrajet wants to know, do you still have the T100? I do. I still use it. In fact, I drove it yesterday to the feed store, the farm store, bought a bunch of fencing and T-posts, and I actually made a huge, expensive trip because we're getting ready to do some upgrades. I'm going to actually, part of the barn expansion down at the bottom is to get that more for goats, and the upper area, you know, by where the shop is, you know, where the garage is. Behind it, I've been dumping dirt back there, and I'm going to be putting in another building there, fencing that off in a smaller area, and that's going to be for chickens and turkeys. So we're going to keep those closer to the house because we had a lot of animal predator issues. So I actually lost almost all the chickens between that and some illnesses. That was pretty much the end of it. So we got new chickens, and we're going to be getting new turkeys, and I want to keep them a little closer to the house. I'm going to I figured it might help with predator issues. So let's see, Orange Man, good water, yeah, definitely. Midnight Cafe is on YouTube. Just search for the Midnight Cafe, and it'll hopefully pop up there. And probably a good idea to subscribe to that, because I don't do shows on that very often. So notify you when I do a show. Lawnmower Man 219, hey Eric, just wanted to say thanks for sharing your time and thoughts with everyone. Feels like the good old days of coffee breaks. Yeah, my friend, I agree with that. Christopher Simpson, ever met someone that had peacocks? My family kept seeing them show up when I was young, so we looked into it. It belonged to a zoo a long way away. Yeah, so actually I had a neighbor in my last little house. I had a farm that was only 2-acre farm back in near Raleigh, or outside of Raleigh, called Moncure, North Carolina. And the neighbor too, he raised exotic birds, and he had peacocks, and every once in a while they'd get out, 3 or 4 of these things come into the yard and show me their plumes, show off to me, and then just disappear. It's pretty cool, actually. Virginia Ridge Runner, hello my friend, Donnie Darko, been doing it for 10 years. Quadrojet's got an 89 pickup, 22 RE 4x4, right on, dude, great little trucks, man. Property man, well, it's oh man, it's after midnight in Spain, go to bed. Good seeing you, take care my friend. 9mm Arrowman, I found a 5.56mm solution to my predator issues. I have blasted at least one coyote, but I'll tell you what, there was something that evaded even, I mean, I put cameras on the property down there, moved cameras. I have security cameras all over the property up here, high definition, really nice quality cameras everywhere, 8 of them up top and another 6 down at the bottom. This thing would come in and take full-size chickens and take them, and I mean, not even get caught. He was so fast, or whatever it was so fast that it would, that 1 or 2 seconds before record time would take over, that I would never get a chance to see it. So we don't know what it was. It's hard to, we had a bear problem last year or the year before, and I would have put a hole in that thing too. But we finally added a higher intensity electric to the fencing, and that scared him off. But Mark Arler, I think you might be right. I'm thinking it was either a bobcat or a full-size mountain lion. And the reason I think mountain lion is that you're talking about pulling 20 pounds of turkey. A male turkey's 22 pounds, and this thing would hop in, grab one, and be able to clear a 4-foot fence plus another foot on top of that for the hot wire, in and out, gone. And so just amazing, whatever it was, but fast, and always struck at night. So just a bummer. Orange Man Goods, I know you got a new Mitsubishi lately. Would you suggest purchasing one? I watched you repair on the Mitsubishi SUV, and I think it had a gear-driven power steering pump. That worries me. So the Outlander, is getting on in years, and yeah, it does have a gear-driven power steering pump. But the new one, the new car I have, the Mitsubishi Mirage, is an electric power steering system. Very simplistic. Those are great. No fluids, no hydraulics, no pumps, no belts. Love that car, man. Getting 44 to 47 miles to the gallon, no matter how I treat it. So very, very happy with the Mirage. And cheap, man. Good Lord. I think it's got to be one of the cheapest cars you can buy in America, which is, of course, why I bought one. The 10-year warranty, drives good, plenty of power, got all the creature features and comforts you want in a car: power windows, power mirrors, power locks, fancy radio. I mean, you go online and you read the professional, and I use that word in quotes because they're not really. These people have never worked an honest day in their life, most of them. Certainly they've never turned a wrench. And they'll dog this vehicle and say that it's not a great vehicle, but you talk to actual owners, go to the Mitsubishi Mirage forums, go to the Mitsubishi Mirage Facebook page, or just ask me. And I'm closing in on 10,000 miles on mine. I love the thing, and I live in a very, very mountainous area where you would think a 3-cylinder engine putting out 80 horsepower might not have enough oomph to get around, but I've never felt like the thing was underpowered. So all the complaints you hear about those things are just a bunch of whiny, rich people who have nothing better to do than dog a car that people might actually be able to afford. Sad, really. Christopher had a great horned owl scare the crap out of my mom when she went to check on the chickens one morning. It flew through the window of the coop and killed 2 roosters. Holy cow. I suppose it's possible that what we're looking at is a large winged predator. We certainly have hawks, but I don't know, man. I guess a horned owl is big enough. It probably could carry something of that weight up and over, but man. Quadrojet King wants to know if I ever messed with old muscle cars. No, and you know why? I'm too poor. So I grew up in the era where you could probably afford those things, but man, I've never had the money to play with them. So by the time I got into cars, which was early on in life, I was always going for cheap cars. So I was like the Econobox restoration guy, and that's pretty much where I've stayed my whole life, because you know, once you fall in love with a certain type of car, for me it's small Econoboxes, you just kind of stick with it. But I've had lots of people who around me who had muscle cars or were into Mustangs or Corvettes or Camaros, that kind of stuff, and you know, it just wasn't for me. Lee E wants to know who won the radio. That was Tom Thomson. Tom Thomson won the radio. Orange Man Good, yeah, thanks for the advice. No problem, dude. Seriously, do some research on your own, but do not listen to mainstream. That's all I'm going to give you. And that goes for everything, man. Don't trust anything mainstream. It's all paid for crap. You know, at least when I come out here and do a product review, if it's something that somebody has given me, I'll be honest and tell you, hey, so-and-so gave me this to test out. So you know, okay, well, you know, maybe this is biased. Although if something was junk, I wouldn't do a review on it. Which, by the way, if anyone's ever wondered that, there are items that I have gotten that I have never ever put a video out for, because somebody will be like, hey, we want you to review this product, and I'll get it, and it's garbage. And I'll tell them it's garbage, and they just don't understand. Oh no, have you tried this? Have you tried that? I've got someone from overseas right now that I've offered to send this thing back so many times I can't even count. Oh no, just try this, just try that. My whole point is, if I have to keep messing around with something to get it to work right, it's junk, and I'm not going to show it off to people. So anyway, I'm going on kind of a rant, aren't I? 9mm AR man saying, I used to raise ducks and raccoons and would climb the chain link fence and kill the females to get those eggs. Shot them almost every night for a week. So we do have a raccoon issue, but actually the raccoons got eaten by whatever larger predator came around. So we had a predator problem last summer that was epic. I mean, we would lose an animal a day, and when we locked our animals away, they ate all the other wildlife in the area. I mean, they killed the cameras pick up coons every night, and possums, well, they're all gone. We had wild rabbits, they're all gone. I mean, anything that was below the size of a full-size dog disappeared in a month's time, you know. And then we opened the gates back up, or you'd come home late from work, and they'd get another one of yours, man. And you just couldn't get this thing to go away, and we just never got it on camera. It was crazy. Mark Bennett, hey Eric, any plans for more radio-related videos? Certainly, dude. It's just been, you know, my videos are made when I'm doing stuff. I just record what I'm doing, and right now I'm getting ready for spring, so we're doing additions on the property. We're fixing up tractors. I've actually purchased 2 new tractors, or well, 1 used tractor and 1 almost new tractor, and so there's going to be a lot of videos on that. I picked up some more Johnny product equipment, so I'm going to be doing some videos on that. But yeah, certainly, man, I've got a couple of radio videos, and I'll be putting those out. So stay tuned. I know people would love it if I could put out a radio video, you know, 3 times a week, but I've got to have them in order to make them. And right now, you know, I pretty much don't have any, and it's not a good time of year to go out to flea markets and stuff. They're mostly closed around here, so I'm just not finding it. Tyler wants to know, yes, I am, and if you'd like to join us, if you would Google the Midnight Cafe here at about 7:15, I'm going to switch to that channel, and we'll talk nothing but that kind of stuff. So if you want to find that, that is my sister channel, and although I don't do much on it, we're going to be talking about that tonight for about 45 minutes to an hour probably. Lee E, love the shirt, totally remember those. Yeah, I've actually had that for many years, man. That's an oldie. John Pershing, Scotch again, yes. I had a 63 Ford Galaxy with a police interceptor package. It was a good car, plenty of torque, and get 10 miles to the gallon. Holy cow. Nice. So, cat lovers here. Hi there. Hello. Alright, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It is 7 o'clock. I am going to end the stream here. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't hit the like button, please, if you would consider doing that. Jamaica Dog just made it in, just finished dinner. So cat lover, Jamaica Dog, all the rest of you, there's 53 of you on here. Do me this solid. Go ahead, get yourself something to drink. Go ahead, use the bathroom if you need to. Go ahead and hang tight. Go on over to the Midnight Cafe channel in about 5, 10, 15 at the most, probably 5. I'm going to go over to that station there, and we will talk about current events. I think there's a lot of folks who've kind of asked me about it on this channel, and due to monetization issues, I'm not going to be speaking about that here. But the sister channel operates entirely without monetization, so I don't have to worry about those things here, and we'll talk about that. So if you're concerned, worried, whatever, that's the place to be. We'll talk about what we've got going on here in the United States and worldwide, and I'm curious to see all of you and what you all are doing, man. So let's see. Yeah, man, wow. I've talked to someone who said they had problems with what they thought was a puma jaguar killing their dogs. I've never heard of a car. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. No, they're out there, dude. They are. Full-size mountain lion make a dog into dinner real quick. They stealth. They operate on stealth. If a dog's sleeping, it doesn't have a chance. Much the way a coyote attacks a cat. Catch them when they're sleeping. Everyone's saying great stream. This hour went by fast. That's the month. Yes, it did, man. So guys and gals, thank you again. We had a good turnout. Thank you to, I can't remember what your name was at this point, but thank you for the revenue there, that $5 super chat. That matters. That goes a long way for the channel. We operate, pretty much everything I get off the channel, every dollar that I make off the channel gets reinvested into the channel. I bought the new camera, and I got a computer 2 years ago to edit the videos, and I got a microphone, so stuff like that. It all just goes back into it, so it's kind of cool. But I have had a great time. I will see you all again in exactly 1 month. And don't forget, April the 11th, a Saturday, in Raleigh, is the Raleigh Hamfest. I will be there. I'd love to get together with any and all of you, have a nice lunch together, maybe wander the flea market together and check out Hamfest together. And we'll catch up in person for those of you who have ever wanted to meet me in person and punch me in the guts or whatever. That's your opportunity, I guess, isn't it? But be advised, North Carolina is a concealed carry state. Take care, everybody.